wish to introduce a statement by Professor Brett Deacon, but first let me provide some small discussion. Since the Parliament makes laws that cannot be easily interpreted, how can I render further assistance to bring a result to me that will impact my life in a positive way? There is no code or precedent that this court, Honourable Judge, should provide weights towards opinionated, pompous, hyperbolic speculation. It's not in the public interest to hold me in custody for 6 months. Laws are made by politicians with words that are hard to define. It simply can't mean automatic motions for orders are granted without a consideration process that only a judge can possess through his legal training. The counterparty isn't a judge. I'm not a judge. You are the judge. And can the counterparty's hyperbolic statements be beyond the pale of public interest? Since the laws of the Mental Health Act, the MHA, were set up to protect the public interest, then how come can an automatic motion be granted to the most stretched truth one can imagine? Pure hyperbole meet the intention of why the Mental Health Act was set up to do in the first place. How can restricting me entirely serve the public when I am the public? You can't restrict the public from itself. Nothing substantive has occurred. No assaults, no criminal actions. I'm sure the Mental Health Act wasn't supposed to remove people from homes based on speculation to pure academic university textbook fabrications of truth. The Mental Health Act wasn't set up to suit academic tongue-twisting sessions of how far one can predict behaviour. Can Matt Lees predict what I shall do next week, next year, next 100 years? You have a person here, Matt Lees, who thinks he can predict the future, Judge. Was the Mental Health Act set up to suit him or the public? It was set up, I suspect, to alleviate otherwise criminal persecutions, to make reason as to temporary, unfit mind, not that a mind is an incurable disease state. Alcohol can temporarily affect the mind, and so a plea of unfit mind can avert criminal prosecution. The list is almost endless, as you very well know this, Judge. The Act needs to be deployed, Most Honourable Judge, to meet this easy mechanism to save persons gaining unwanted criminal convictions that can hamper an entire life. Most Honourable Judge, the Mental Health Act isn't supposed to be a golfing club of who can cook up the most ludicrous claim by putting a dress on a scarecrow and calling it a wife. Your Honour, I am not to be dressed up with hyperbolic statements that will damage my reputation and destroy my professional life as a current university enrolled student and a future science teacher for Nelson. The Act isn't in the hands of the expert statements. It's in the agenda of keeping people out of jail and away from harm. You look for obvious reasons. You look for obvious reasons for unfit mind. Not... Sorry, one second. Let us look for obvious reasons for an unfit mind, not for far-stretching reasons that are simply beyond the pale. The exchange I've had here for very brief moments are simply beyond the pale. There is no serious events where police have made statements. I'm heard that I've been told I have an incurable illness and can't be let out of custody. That hurts me. That has impacted me a lot. I am a mentally fit person who is strong in mind. I appeal to knowledge in the field to support my position by Dr. Brett Deacon, Professor Brett Deacon, a professor who can perfectly translate the essence of how the Mental Health Act can serve society, not punish society against society. I submit a statement by Professor Brett Deacon, and he is fully available to assist all court procedures as you weigh the case before you. Hyperbole doesn't serve the Mental Health Act. Society and its needs being met first serves the Mental Health Act. This is who I am. I have a career. Me being locked up simply doesn't serve society and therefore doesn't serve the Mental Health Act. Me being locked up simply doesn't serve society and therefore doesn't serve the Mental Health Act.